right, we're back here at halftime of the 2013 Valley of the Sun Bowl, along with the Hall of Fame coach Joe Kersting. I'm Jeff Lowery. 15-14 is the score as Scottsdale has the lead. Unfortunately for the Artichokes, they've turned the ball over twice deep inside their own territory, and that really has set the tone here in this game, because Dodge City was able to convert on both of those turnovers, and they've gotten 174 yards out of the Conference Player of the Year back in Kansas, Tyrese Thomas.
Yeah, Tyrese Thomas has taken this game over in the first half, and therefore they've been able to control the ball, so it's wearing down that Scottsdale defense. And as you look into the second half, Scottsdale offensively needs to try to do something they don't normally do, and that's control the ball a little bit to keep their defense off the field. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half. Both teams are going to get worn down a little bit more, and that running game for the Conquistadors has really put the Artichokes on their heels.
Well, you look at the two big plays in that first half for Scottsdale. The short yardage pass to their very talented tight end, Braden Bowman. He goes 57 yards to pay dirt. Next possession, Summers runs one from 55 yards out. So big plays still, and that's what this team does. Scottsdale is a big play team, but you look at the play of Blake Decker. Now, this is a team that normally passes for over 400 yards a game, and he's right around that 100 mark.
Yeah, they're not getting the possessions that they normally get. Their defense usually comes up with stops or turnovers more quickly and gets the ball back to their offense, but right now they're not getting the possessions, and like you said, the two turnovers have been really costly. Number one, it's putting them in a bad spot defensively, but it's also keeping their offense off the field.
So it's 15-14, Scottsdale on top, and we'll have more from the Valley of the Sun Bowl 2013 in just a moment. Second half action here. Bo Tanner back to receive along with Teddy Rubin. Britton's kick is another wobbly kick. It's kind of short, and it's going to go out of bounds right around the 12-yard line. So penalty flag comes flying in. Scottsdale with touchdowns from Bowman, 57-yard pass play from his quarterback. It was a short yardage play from his quarterback, Blake Decker. That came in at the end of the first quarter. They had 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. Dodge City took the lead with 11-17 left to go on a 17-yard run. A 2-point conversion. Scottsdale came right back, took the lead 15-8 on a 55-yard run by Summers. Bowman a 2-point conversion, and then Thomas a 12-yard run with a little more than 5 minutes left to play, putting us at our current scores. We start quarter number 3, 15-14, Fighting Artichokes, the host team. Decker back to pass, only 74 first half yards, and he goes long and deep, and it is incomplete as he tried to hook up with Bowman. Outstanding coverage by Logan Orso, the linebacker, who had to pick him up.
Well, that's the matchup that I'm looking for the second half, that Scottsdale should be expecting to exploit the taller receiver Bowman against the shorter Orso when they get in man coverage. And it looks like they're going to get that matchup one more time, except they're going to be in zone coverage this time with a 2-deep secondary.
So second down and 10. Third quarter action. Scottsdale, the host team of this 33rd annual Valley of the Sun Bowl, leading it by 1. Decker trying to get to the edge. He does. He'll run out of bounds near the 40-yard line. He picks up 5 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 for Scottsdale.
And you see number 95, Vinton Harris, running down the quarterback. He's only 295 pounds, chasing down Decker towards this sideline. And that time they did play a 2-deep coverage, but they played what we call man under with 2-deep. And again, Decker takes off when he sees that man coverage and got a pretty good gain to bring up 3rd and 5.
A stop and play here. I don't see a penalty.
Well, one of the the Conquistador football players fell to the ground over on their sideline and obviously is in pain. And I cannot tell the number, but just right before the play was going to start, I saw him go down to the ground.
Oh, yeah, there he is. Well, let's take a quick timeout here. The 33rd Valley of the Sun Bowl will return in just a moment.
You can say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
There's Blake Decker, the talented quarterback, over 4,000 yards passing and 44 touchdowns this year for the Artichokes in 10 games. He is in trouble as he rolls out to the far side, and he's going to fling it deep downfield, and the ball is going to be incomplete. Tried to hook up with, looks like there might be Bell out there. Yep, number 13 Steve
yep.
Bell. First time he's thrown to the Detroit Michigan native, and it's a 3-and-out to start the second half for Scottsdale.
You know, Jeff, for the second time, we've seen a primarily offensive player for Dodge City playing defense on that last play. That was number 5, Michael Thomas, that was in coverage with Bell back on that deep throw.
Well, and you talk about, you know, depth being a very important part of this game. And so A.J. Thigpen out of Hamilton High School. This is a 42-yard punt and outstanding coverage. That was a great kick. And it was Tim Clayton, who we have mentioned several times, another Detroit, Michigan native. After a 41-yard punt, 14:03 left to go here in quarter number 3.
Well, 3-and-out for the Scottsdale offense. That's not what the doctor ordered, Jeff, what we talked about at halftime. They've got to get some rhythm going with that offense of theirs, and if they don't, I think they're going to have a real problem with this Dodge City football team.
Another stop and play here. Okay, Dodge City coming out. Now I don't know if we mentioned the time of possession. It's 2-1 right now,
Which
in
is
favor
incredible.
of Dodge City.
2-1 time of possession is incredible in a college football game.
So they go back to Harris. He had 174 yards in that first half, but he ran into a brick wall. And that was number 90, Pele Anu, who got a little rest time towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, Anu we didn't call his name as much that first half as we've called him in other games, but look for Anu to really be a factor in this second half for the Artichokes.
Thomas, 25 carries for about 175 yards. The one thing, and we talked about this just off the air during halftime, Coach, as Ford takes the snap and now rolls out to his left, throws behind, and then nearly picked off. Tried to hook up with Devontae Robinson, and it was nearly picked off by Isaiah Riddle, who had a pick 6 last week. You know, the time of possession, obviously, Scottsdale's defense has been out here quite a bit in that first half. The one thing that I think if you're a Scottsdale fan, you got to be a little concerned about is, I mean, this Thomas running back, he could be in for a huge day. He's already rushed for 174, and that was against a fresh defense. And as that defense starts to wind down, who knows how many yards he could get here tonight.
You're exactly right, Jeff. And here's that 3rd and long situation where Scottsdale likes to bring the pressure from the outside.
Pele Anu with a big-time quarterback sack. And I'll tell you, that's the biggest play of the game so far for Scottsdale.
Well, his running mate, Kanyan Guerrara, brought great pressure from the other side, so there was no place for Ford to scramble to, with both defensive ends coming really hard from the outside. And that seems to be a big matchup problem for Dodge City.
Teddy Rubin is back to receive. He's already lost 2, and he loses another one. But it was picked up by Scottsdale near the 44 of Dodge City, and saving the possession was McMorris.
Well, I'm just in shock when it comes to Teddy Rubin. Teddy Rubin's been a clutch football player ever since I saw him play quarterback in high school at Saguaro High School, and for him to muff punts consecutively like that is very, very unusual. He's obviously lost some confidence as of right now.
He sure has. So 12 minutes and 38 seconds is on the clock. A huge possession here for Scottsdale. The passing game has really been ineffective here, and now Rubin gets the screen pass, and he's going to be thrown down near the 40 of Dodge City. Tackle made by Logan Orso, the 210-pound linebacker.
Well, I like the play call by Tommy Ziegler there, and mainly to get the ball back into Teddy Rubin's hands to give him some confidence with catching the ball and putting it away. So nice job by Ziegler trying to help his his offensive player there.
Now Summers, the right side, he has a 55-yard touchdown run here, and he only picks up a couple of yards. It's going to leave him in a third and about 4 here.
36 upon Summers.
But if you're the Artichokes, averaging over 400 yards a game, averaging nearly, 600 yards total offense, 400 through the air, and not even to be at 100 here at halftime going into the quarter number 3. You'd like to see that offense, that passing game open up a little bit here in this third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it going. 3rd down and 4 inside Dodge City territory. Decker will throw it, and he has Bowman, and it was deflected, incomplete, out of bounds. Kyle Foster had a hand on it for Dodge City.
Well, Dodge City came with an all-out blitz that time. They brought the house and locked up tight man coverage across the board, and looked like they were going to get a big play as Decker gets drilled as he throws the ball. But Bowman unable to hold on to the ball as a defender, I believe, got his hand on that just as the ball got there.
Kyle Foster, the defender, is down. He's in the back of the end zone. Looks like maybe a cramp. It's very easy out here in Arizona, especially this time of year, because it's normally so dry out here, to get dehydrated, even if you're not thirsty.
Right. You're exactly right. I experienced that when I first moved to Arizona. And, you've got to keep hydrated at all times in this climate. And I hope that doesn't prevent him from playing the rest of the game. He has played an outstanding game, playing on both sides of the line of scrimmage for Dodge City.
Well, Scottsdale will go for it here. They're at the 37-yard line of Dodge City. Scottsdale in the dark uniforms leading it 15-14. We're in the third quarter. Just under 11:24 to be exact, left to play here in quarter number 3. So now Decker, still under 100 passing yards through 2+ quarters. But with this offense, they could open it up at any time.
And Jeff, Dodge City has only 10 men on the field, and their safety recognizes it. He's getting a timeout call right now, but that could have been devastating for them if they were not recognized, having a man short on this critical 4th and 3.
All right, 11:24 left to go. You're watching the 33rd annual Valley of the Sun Bowl on MCTV Sports.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness, I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
All right, 11:24 left to go here. Third quarter action. Scottsdale coming back to the line of scrimmage, facing 4th down and 4. So Decker, I would think, might be an All-American when this season's over. I don't know when all those awards come out, but with the numbers he put up there, they need to convert here and keep that defense off the field. The time of possession right now heavily in favor of Dodge City, the visiting team, in those LSU uniforms. 4th and 4, back to pass. Here's the blitz. He throws and completes and picks up the first down on his Hossack on the far side, as he is going to be wrestled out of bounds right at the 24-yard line. 13 yards and a Fighting Artichoke first down.
And an incredible throw by Mr. Decker on that play. He was under duress from Orso. The linebacker was unblocked coming through the A-gap, and Decker showed great poise, got the ball off, completion, and a first down.
Summers flanks the Scottsdale quarterback. He'll take the shotgun snap and now just takes off with it. Good call. Inside the 10, the 5, he's going to take it to the house. And Decker has scored for Scottsdale from 24 yards out.
Well, that's what I talked about earlier in the game. He recognizes coverage so well. He saw his man coverage. When the rush didn't get to him and an opening occurred, he just takes off because everybody's running with somebody down the field and do not have their eyes on the quarterback. And there he goes right into the end zone. Big, big play. The conversion on 4th down, and that play really puts the momentum back in Scottsdale's side.
Matt Kerwin, and his kick is good. He has made 44 of 45 extra points coming into this Valley of the Sun Bowl. 10 minutes and 51 seconds left to play, and Scottsdale owns their largest lead of the afternoon at 22-14.
Okay, well, remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
Of course not. Well, it was too graphic for the kids, so I'm going to have to block you.
You know, I got to make this
That's
up.
really not
This is Vinny's watch.
We're back here at Scottsdale Community College. Quarterback Blake Decker, who just rushed in 24 yards out for his 4th rushing touchdown of the season to go along with his 45 passing touchdowns. And Scottsdale leads it 22-14. I mean, these are Dan Marino-like numbers.
Gaudy. And that's only in how many games have they played?
10.
They played 10 games. 45 touchdown passes. Yeah, I can figure that out. 1.5 a game.
End over end kick, and this one's going to be a yard deep into the end zone. Harris to the near side, up across the 20 and to the 24, and that is all that he will get. There is a penalty marker down as Tim Clayton and company was in on the tackle, along with 46 Dalton Kirk. Here's the penalty.
Looks like it's going to be a block in the back or possibly a hold.
Holding on the return team. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
They start way back on their own 8-yard line, and this really isn't the kind of offense that does great when it has to go 92 yards. They have moved the ball, but they have a hard time converting from long distance. Their only 2 scores of the night have been on those short field after turnovers. So this is a real pressure situation right now for Dodge City. See if they can really get the offense cranking and put a score on the board. They obviously have no field goal game whatsoever, so they're going for touchdowns.
And they'll run the little sweep to the far side. And this is going to be for big-time yardage. Devontae Robinson, the wide receiver, is inside Scottsdale territory. And there goes the field position game as he's going to be wrapped up at the Artichokes' 43-yard line.
One of the players from Scottsdale, number 14, I believe it is, hard to read their jersey numbers here. Clovis Campbell came up limping. He had a good angle on the runner, but lost that angle because of an injury. I'm guessing that's probably a pulled hamstring.
So it's a 49-yard run for Devontae Robinson, the sophomore out of Delray Beach, Florida. 1st down and 10 from the 43 of Scottsdale. Handoff. Thomas hit in the backfield, and down he goes. Well, I'll tell you what, Pelianu has seen new life here in this second half. The young man out of nearby Horizon High School as he makes the tackle for loss, and they lose a couple on the play, bringing up 2nd down and 12.
Well, that's a play they've had great success with in the first half, but here in the second half, I think Anu has kind of figured out that scheme, and he's been doing a great job squeezing that play and hitting that for a loss.
Timeout in the second half. Both teams have 2 timeouts.
So both teams now with 2 timeouts left, as Scottsdale is forced to call a timeout with 9:44 left to go in the 3rd.
Yeah, they were a man short as well on that play, Jeff, and that's why they used their timeout. So a little bit of confusion on each team's sideline in terms of substituting on their defensive units.
Let's send it downstairs to Mike Caratanudo.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jeff. Yeah, Scottsdale had to take a timeout because one of their linebackers actually had his shoe came off, and the umpire had sent him. He told Coach Mendowski that the umpire had sent him off the field, and then he took a timeout because Coach Mendowski's like, "Why are you coming off the field?" Because, like you said, Coach, they were a player short. So I don't know if they're going to get this timeout back. I'll find out, but I guess technically it was an equipment thing because the umpire told SEC player, like I said, to get off the field because of his shoe.
Yeah, that's a pretty unusual situation, and the head referee is coming over to talk to Coach Mendowski, so I'll be curious to see if they change their decision on the usage of the timeout, but I doubt if they will.
No. All right, so both teams with 2 timeouts left. 9:44 on the clock. Third quarter action. Scottsdale, the host team, the first time they've been in this game since 2004, and still looking for their first ever Valley of the Sun Bowl win. Ford taking off and picks up maybe 5 on the play. Slides before Kanyan Guerrera wrapped him up. And it'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Dodge City Conquistadors, the Conks.
Well, the Artichokes went to their what I call chaos defensive look, where nobody has their hand on the ground, and it's been causing some confusion to that Dodge City offensive line. They blocked it fairly well that time, but they're doing it again this time, and see what kind of pressure they come up with out of their 3-man line with the chaos look.
Big play on this drive was the Devontae Robinson 49-yard run, and here's a pass caught. That's French again.
And what a throw. My goodness. He had very little room to put that ball into, and he put it right where it had to be, and a huge conversion of a first down, putting it 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
That's a big-time pass. Usually we were saying that about Decker. But and one of the things with DeAndre Ford was that, you know, his quarterback rating was kind of low coming into this game, but you know, maybe he's played very well here today, and he is definitely a weapon through the air.
Yes, he is. And it seems like the Artichokes this second half are really keying in more on Thomas, the tailback. Plus, Thomas might be worn down a little bit. You know, he has already over 25 rushes so far in the game. So
24 in that first half alone. I mean, you know, that projects out to 48 for the game. Ford into the end zone, far side. He was out of bounds. Michael Thomas claiming he had 1 foot in, and they're going to say out of bounds, incomplete pass with 8:08 left to go in the third.
Well, the side judge was in perfect position to call the play here. He is right there watching his footwork, and it's hard to see on our replay from that far away, but he called it immediately and said he did not get a foot down in bounds. At least his first foot did not come down in bounds, and that's what you look for.
So now it is 3rd down and 7. Working from the Scottsdale 20-yard line. Of all the possessions that they have had, Dodge City, they have been in Scottsdale territory for the most part. Ford creating and stretching this play out with his legs, finds French, but he's going to be wrapped up near the 15. The ball may have come out, but it looks like they're going to rule him down near that 15-yard line. And Kanyan Guerrera once again getting some help there. Number 40, Curtis Taylor, in the area.
Now, on that play, French, his receiver, did a great job uncovering and getting open for his quarterback, but he had poor recognition of down and distance, because he should have just caught that thing, turned it upfield, and gotten whatever he can instead of dancing around. He might have got the first down, but now they're going to 4th and looks like a long 2 here, and they've got their jumbo unit back out on the field.
Yep. Bringing up big 95, Vinton Harris. They'll run it to that right side, and that's going to be good enough for the first down. Still on his feet, hitting that 3rd and 4th effort by Thomas. Nets him a touchdown. 15 yards out.
You don't see many better short yardage runs than that one right there, Jeff Lowery. I'm telling you what, that back is something special, and then he's got to turn to the sideline and tell him he's eating some more, and he's doing it again. These referees need to get that thing stopped.
Well, the one thing you cannot do with Mr. Thomas is there's no arm tackles. And he is so elusive. He's got that great first step. They fumble it here on the 2-point conversion, and so that fails. So their problems on special teams continues, and that preserves the Scottsdale lead. Otherwise, we would have been tied at 22.
Yeah, it looks like when he took the snap from center, he didn't quite have it clean, and I think he ran into one of his big defensive linemen that's back there in the backfield running the counter play, and that's when the ball came loose.
So Thomas with 3 touchdowns of 17, 12, and 15. He's over 200 yards rushing, and we still have 22 minutes on the clock as we send it downstairs to Michael.
Jeff, you made a great point about the arm tackling, and that's the first thing that Coach Medowski was talking to his team in the huddle before we talked to him going into halftime. He said, you guys aren't tackling like we have all season long, and with the plethora of yards, like you said, that he has, that Dodge City has on the ground, tackled again, and Coach Medowski's the first thing he's saying to his linebackers and his line coming off the field is that we are not going to win this game if you keep putting that poor effort into tackling. And Coach, I know obviously you appreciate that.
Tackling's an attitude first and foremost, and you got to put your body on their body. And when you have a back as talented as that young man, you have to really put all your entire effort into it, your chest on his chest, wrapping those arms with a solid base, and your partner's coming to help you out. And if you don't, he's going to keep doing what he just did on that last drive.
Shane Brenton to kick things off. 22-20. Scottsdale will take the lead. And here is Rubin, who returns it from the 20-yard line, finds a seam straight up the middle, and he is off to the races deep inside Dodge City territory with one man to beat, and he's going to take it 80 yards. How about that?
Well, their offense not going to get any rhythm like that, Jeff Lowery. My word. Teddy Rubin, I think he made up for one of those muffs. What do you think? Outstanding blocking.
You're the coach.
Outstanding blocking by that return unit for the Artichokes. And, you know, he's a talented guy. And right. I really like what Coach Ziegler, I said it at the time, what Coach Ziegler did after his last muff, to get the ball back in his hands, just to show him you still have confidence in him. And just a little message like that could have been enough for him to feel confident about returning that kick, and he did. Great job.
Outstanding job by Teddy Rubin. Rubin, 54 catches for 739 yards. As he goes the distance, got a penalty marker on this extra point, so it's 28-20.
They had 12 men lined up before the ball was kicked. That's a dead ball foul. That penalty has been declined. One still in time down.
So they're going to re-kick this one?
Right. They blew it dead before the snap, so they're forced to re-kick. They could have taken the penalty, obviously, but they turned it down.
So apparently Scottsdale not interested in a two-point conversion here. They lead by 8, now covered up. And Kerwin covering up, and you might be wondering why he covered up on that play, but you can return the extra point, right?
That's right, absolutely right. And at the end of the play, there's going to be a personal foul penalty on Bryce Hoffmeister. He looked like he kicked the Scottsdale player while he was down on the ground right in front of the referee. The head coach, Gary Thomas, is giving him an earful right now. And that is going to be huge.
At the end of the play, it's a dead ball. Personal foul against the defense, number 22. Number 22 has been ejected from the ballgame.
Wow. Well, you know, and really he deserves it. And right now he's getting more than an earful from Gary Thomas, the head coach of Dodge City. So a timeout here on the field. 6:52 left to go. Third quarter action in Scottsdale on an 80-yard kick return for touchdown by Teddy Rubin leads it 28-20.
You know what I learned in college? You can save a lot of money by going to a community college before transferring to a four-year school. I think that deserves an A+.
Discover yourself at the Maricopa Community Colleges, maricopa.edu.
All right, 28-20, Scottsdale on top as we send it downstairs to Mike Caratanudo.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Yeah, you guys are talking about the ejection of number 22, and he was warned in the first half because he got a penalty. I think it was on a kickoff or a kick return, and he wasn't happy about the block in the back call right before halftime. Very frustrated was John back at the referee. And you had to know, I mean, another personal foul, Coach. It was obviously, like I said, egregious enough for him to be ejected from the game. You know, the coaching staff at Dodge City, you see the reaction, not extremely happy.
Well, they don't have a whole lot of depth on their defense, and he's one of their primary depth guys defensively and one of their main guys on coverage team. So that's a big penalty.
So Goldfine able to kick one out of the back of the end zone because of the assessment of the personal foul at the end of that botched extra point attempt. And Scottsdale, with just under 7 minutes left to play here in the third quarter, will come back out on defense. And one thing is that here in the second half is the fact that the defense hasn't been on the field a whole lot here in the second half, and that's definitely that time of possession, trying to balance that back out for Doug Madosky's team is certainly a very important point.
Absolutely important factor in this game, and now it's really nut cutting time. Who's really going to put their stamp on this second half?
All right, here's a little fly sweep to Robinson to the far side. Now changes his field, bringing it up to the near side. And let's see if there's a holding penalty anywhere in the miss. But look at this. Coming absolutely out of nowhere was Dixon on the play out of Easton, Pennsylvania.
Well, Devontae showed excellent athleticism to avoid being tackled, but poor judgment in running backwards and losing 8 yards.
Well, a couple of big-time mental mistakes here with the personal foul against Hoffmeister, which led to his ejection for Dodge City, and then probably a poor decision there where Devontae probably should have just lowered the pads. So now it is second and long, and he's going to get another chance here. Makes the catch near the 14, takes on a defender, and then went backwards as he gets it back to the line of scrimmage, and not a good idea as Curtis Taylor came up with a big hit out of Richmond, Texas.
Yeah, this is a big play in the football game. It's third and just outside of 10 yards to go. Ball deep in Dodge City's territory. If Scottsdale can get off the field right here, that'll set their offense up and really swing the momentum back in their favor.
Be interesting to see if they take a shot downfield here. Here's Ford. It has time and throws it long and to the far side. It's tipped around and caught. Can you believe it? A tremendous catch by Michael Thomas. And we were talking to the broadcast team of the Dodge City Conquistadors before the game, and they said this is probably our best receiver. He's got that Michael Irvin type feel, and he's the kind of guy that he just will do whatever it takes to catch the ball, and he proved it there.
Yeah, he stayed with that ball through the entire catch. He had about 3 chances at it and came down with that ball against a great cornerback, Glover, from Scottsdale.
That pass play going about, 30 yards? And now to the air. He's going deep again. Over the middle is French, and he makes the catch near the 8. That is a 32-yard, actually, the 32-yard pickup as they're marking down near the 8-yard line. And
you see the Scottsdale defenders walking? They're walking. They're walking back to the line of scrimmage. I think, you had third down. You had a chance to get off the field, but now you put yourself in a tough predicament.
And now Thomas takes the carry, and he's very close to the goal line.
And when you can get big chunk plays like Dodge City just got in the passing game, Thomas isn't getting worn down. Now you got him inside the 10-yard line. Now you can use your hammer right there to punch that ball into the end zone.
Timeout for an injured Dodge City player.
Well, we got an injured player, and it's Thomas. Boy, they can't afford to lose this guy. He is a bulk of their offense. He has got over 200 yards of rushing. He had 174 in that first half. And, Coach, this drive started all the way back at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, it's a tremendous job by Dodge City of getting their composure back and putting some things together. They had some really boneheaded maneuvers on their part to start this series, and they got their composure back. Michael Thomas makes the great catch on the sideline on the long pass on third down, and then another big play to French down the middle of the field, and now they're on the 1-yard line.
So they've marched 79 yards. Actually, this drive started at the 20. So Thomas is not in there, and they're going to go to Gabriel over left guard, and he's got it for the touchdown.
Well, Scottsdale has not made the proper adjustment to that jumbo set that Dodge City is using. And they've been using it consistently in short yardage and goal line, especially goal line situations. They're in it again, and they should be running left because Scottsdale is not adjusted.
Gabriel on a 2-point conversion. Can Scottsdale deny them? They do not. Gabriel scores all the points on this drive, the 2-pointer along with the 1-yard touchdown run, and this game is tied with 3:54 left to go here in the third at 28.
Well, they were in that jumbo formation again with the two big, huge defensive linemen in the backfield as lead blockers, and Scottsdale's not adjusting enough personnel to those two running backs, and they're a man shy, and that's what's showing up when they run that formation, and they're giving up scores because of it.
So that's Gabriel's first score of the game. Actually, he had the 2-point conversion earlier, so total 10 points here today. And we are tied at 28 apiece in this 33rd annual Valley of the Sun Bowl here on MCTV Sports.
And just looking on the sideline at the Scottsdale defensive players, they not only look physically dejected, but they look emotionally dejected. They have been on the field a lot. They've been trying to tackle one of the greatest junior college running backs in the nation, and Thomas, all game long, and not had great success doing that. And they're not in a good mental frame right now, and they need their offense or special teams to get them back on track.
They kick away from Rubin this time, and will they let this roll out of bounds? They will. Of course, remember Rubin not too long ago, with 6:52 left to go in the third, returned it 80 yards. So they will move the ball up to the 40-yard line, and that'll be pretty good starting field position here for Scottsdale. As Blake Decker returns, right around 100 yards passing here today. That's probably the biggest surprise of the game so far.
Well, the matchup has been the coverage players for Dodge City against the receivers, and they've done an excellent job in man coverage on those receivers of Scottsdale.
This game was tied, or the score at halftime was 15-14. Decker on a quick screen to Teddy Rubin, who breaks a tackle and nearly broke it loose. And the young man we were wondering about, who was injured on a play earlier, Kyle Foster, makes the touchdown-saving tackle.
And the number 56, Will Kreitler, who I believe is the starting center for the Artichokes, came up hobbling. He's in a lot of pain right now, but he's refusing to come out of the game. And we'll see what happens with that situation.
There's an 11-yard pass play, setting up a first down and 10 from the 46-yard line. So Decker going with Summers in the backfield. Decker going long. He's got a man. There's got to be some contact near the 20, and Scottsdale's claiming pass interference.
Well, again, it looked like there was some contact between number 7, the corner, Danzel McDaniel, excuse me, and the wide receiver for Scottsdale, Bo Tanner. But
that is a 5-yard penalty.
That's the second time they've been assessed, and there is a flag, and it was an illegal man downfield.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't notice the flag on the penalty on that play.
Let's send it downstairs.
Well, Jeff, you're just saying, Coach talking about Will Kreitler. I mean, he is obviously hobbling, and you can see it, but he's not coming off the field on that last pass play. Looks like he was able to kind of hold his block, but it's something just to look at. We might see more Dodge City pressure coming up the middle.
All right, 3:17 on the clock. Thanks, Mike. 1st and 15. And Decker with time, staying in the pocket, over the middle, and Teddy Rubin again in the open field. Puts a move on at the 40s, inside the 20, inside the 15, the 10, the 5, goodbye. Outstanding job, Decker to Rubin underneath, and it goes 59 yards, but there is a penalty marker down near the 15-yard line of Dodge City.
And I believe that's after the touchdown was scored. And it's going to be on Scottsdale, it looks like.
Touchdown counts. At the end of the play, dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct charged against number 18 in Scottsdale. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So a 59-yard run by Rubin. That was another short yardage pass play, just like Blake hooked up with Bowman in that first half.
Well, and that's a great approach by Scottsdale. You know, they're having difficulty breaking the receivers loose down the field on routes, but those little underneath things where Rubin can use his quickness and get a little step on the defender, and then he showed tremendous athleticism after the catch to break that for 6.
Kerwin's kick is up, and it is good. So he continues to be impressive on extra points, at least 35-28, and Scottsdale has the lead again.
Well, and I've got to go back to the coaching by the Artichoke, and specifically Coach Ziegler, the offensive coordinator, to really try to focus on getting Teddy Rubin's confidence back, and obviously he's playing with great confidence the last 2 series and putting them back into the game.
35-28, Scottsdale.
Packers, Vikings,
Red State, Blue State.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
But when we live united, we create real lasting change in the education, income, and health of our country.
United.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Sign up at liveunited.org.
All right, 3 minutes and 4 seconds left to go in this 33rd annual Valley of the Sun Bowl presented by MCTV Sports.
And if we'll remember, Jeff, there was that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after the touchdown was scored, so that's a 15-yard penalty, and that's going to bring the ball back to the 20-yard line for this kickoff. So Harris will have a great chance to get a big return and put Dodge City in great position for their offense here late in the 3rd quarter.
It's been somewhat of a back-and-forth game, though Scottsdale's led for the most part. End-over-end kick, fielded, and then dropped and out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Well, it was a good kick by Scott Goldfine. He got some distance, and just a little antsy on that play was Darvell Harris as he fumbles the ball out of bounds, and not very good starting field position considering Scottsdale had to kick from their own 20.
Well, they use a kick return that a lot of NFL teams do, and that's with one man back, and they expect that one man back to get to all the kicks. And that ball was positioned very well towards the left sideline of Dodge City, and Harris had a difficult time getting there on the run, and when he did, he bobbled the ball and knocked it out of bounds.
So 3 minutes on the clock, 3rd quarter action. It's been a long quarter. We've seen a lot of scoring. The score was 15-14 Scottsdale at the half. And, well, let's see if Dodge City can counter here. They go to Robinson on an end-around run, and he didn't get far. Boy, a great job there. Again, great containment. Fadele on that far side, along with 47, James Bernard, one of their top defensive players, the big linebacker.
The thing I will say about the Scottsdale defense, once they've seen a play several times, they've learned to adjust to it and react to it better, and they obviously reacted much better to the fly sweep that time.
Inside handoff, this is Gabriel, and he spins out of a tackle near the 22 and gets to the 25, and it's going to put Dodge City in a 3rd and short yardage play, tackled by Scottsdale's Antonio Smothers.
Well, Thomas is still on the sideline. That's Gabriel playing the tailback position, and on 3rd and 2, we'll see if they give it to Gabriel to pick up this first down.
And we'll send it down to Mike as soon as this play is over. A big 3rd down conversion needed here for Dodge City. And we got an injury update as Scottsdale jumps off sides. It's a free play. Here's a pass over the middle, and Will French is tearing up this defense. He makes the catch at the Dodge City 43-yard line and move the chains for the first down. Let's send it down to Mike right now with that injury update.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jeff. Yeah, Will Kreitler, I actually just talked to him. They retaped up.
Defense number 9. That penalty has been declined.
They retaped up his ankle and outside his shoe. He just said he kind of got rolled up on, but he was putting on pressure on it, doing a quick jog, and he will be back in the game at center for the Artichokes.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Still not in there as Ford hands off Gabriel. Gabriel straight up the butt. and he is going to be hit for a 1-yard gain there. Same guys on all the tackles when they run it up the middle, Pelianu and Calvin Hurtaloo.
Those two guys make a lot of plays between the tackles.
Hurtaloo, 52 tackles, 6th on the team. Of course, Pelianu is number 1, 16 tackles for loss. We're coming down to the 1-minute mark here in quarter number 3. And they will go to Robinson again. And then with that little sweep to the far side, and he dives for about a 5-yard pickup.
That puts them in midfield, and without the stud running back in the game, on 3rd down the previous series, they threw the ball. And I would imagine they're going to try to use the air again this time to pick up this 3rd and 4.
Okay, so Jonathan Black is in for Scottsdale, 6'5", 300 pounds. Comes in on these passing plays, passing downs, 3rd and we'll call it 3rd and 4 from the midfield stripe. Visiting Dodge City, trailing 35-28. We're down to the final 20 seconds of quarter number 3, and Ford running, throwing, and it was dropped along the near sideline. He had it in his hands, but Charlie Wilson could not corral it. It was also a backup quarterback for Dodge City.
Yeah, that would have been a very, very difficult catch to make. The ball was thrown behind him, but he got 2 hands on the ball, and unfortunately for Dodge City, he wasn't able to bring it in.
Does this play call for a fake here?
I don't think so, but it's kind of scary punting that ball to Rubin the way he's playing right now.
It was nearly blocked, and there was contact. The ball was actually tipped by the racing in defender, and this one's going to go all the way down to the 15, 35 yards on that, and now they scramble for the ball.
And I don't know what Teddy Rubin is doing. He should not be in there jumping on the ball like that. If he touches that ball and Dodge City ends up recovering it, that goes back to Dodge City.
So that takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. We head to quarter number 4. You're watching the 33rd Annual Valley of the Sun Bowl from Scottsdale, Arizona. The Artichokes lead the Conquistadors 35-28. Get into the game with Inside Maricopa Sports. From the gridiron to track and field, the 9th inning to the winning goal. Inside Maricopa Sports brings you the excitement of Maricopa College of Sports. Get up close and personal with athletes and coaches. Plus, meet the unsung heroes of the game. Join us on the field and behind the scenes on Inside Maricopa Sports. Only on MCTV, Cox Cable, Channel 115. Welcome to the 4th quarter of the 33rd Annual Valley of the Sun Bowl with Joe Kersting, Jeff Lowery. 4th quarter action, 35-28 in favor of the Artichokes. And Decker comes out passing and tipping it to himself and completing the pass for short yardage. Here is a penalty marker on the play. Is that 18? That was Bowman on the play. Let's get the call from our official here. With all the high school games, I'm used to saying AIA official, but and these guys are, I think, probably do some AIA officiating.
Many of them do.
Illegal block, which is a clip from behind against offense number 2. Half the distance to the goal from the 20-yard line. Replay down 1.
Well, Teddy Rubin is a guy that this Scottsdale team, he's fumbled the ball 3 times, lost 2 of them, which led to the 14 first-half points by this visiting Dodge City team. But he's had touchdown runs of 80 and 59, one on a kick return of 80 yards. And it's been an interesting game here. I mean, we've had just about everything here.
Yes, we have. And we're going to have a lot more still.
We still got 14 and a half minutes left to go here in regulation. Scottsdale trying to add on to a 7-point lead. Decker on 1st down and 16, throws it deep over the middle, and Bowman went up, and there was clearly contact there. And I cannot understand the officials here today. They have got those yellow hankies in their hip pocket, and they must have glued it. That was clearly pass interference.
Well, Well, let's see the replay here, see if we can see it.
It looked like he clipped that foot.
Well, he was tripping and falling, and might have been inconsequential contact called by the officials. Tough call.
Okay. I like how you and Mike ganged up on me on that one, so that's okay. So now it is second down, 16. Here's the end around. This is Summers, who had a 55-yard run in the first half, but has been pretty quiet besides that run. He's going to pick up a good 7 yards here, and it's going to give Scottsdale a 3rd and 9.
Well, they've gotten away from their running game the second half to try to get some rhythm for Decker and his receivers. And it's been a good decision up to this point, but they've got to keep mixing it up if they're going to win this football game.
So 3rd down and 8 from the 17. Scottsdale looking for a big play. Dodge City showing blitz, and here they come. And Decker stepping up. He's in trouble. He's going down. And he lost the ball, but it looked like he might have been down. Let's see what the call is. They've already lost 2, and they're going to rule him. That's a fumble. And now giving Dodge City their shortest field of the day.
Yeah, that was a great play there by Logan Orso, number 20. He strips the ball. Right here, you're going to see the ball's a little loose, and he strips it out of there just as Decker was going down to the ground. That was one of those that if we had replay, it would definitely be looked at on replay. But we don't have that in the junior college ranks, and it's 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line, and this is a great opportunity for Dodge City to take the lead.
And back into the ball game, Tyrese Thomas with a chance to tie this game or take the lead, and Thomas comes right out, gets the call, and picks up 4 yards to the 11.
I'll tell you what, he gets the quickest 4- and 5-yard gains I've ever seen. I mean, it looks like he's got nothing, and he just zips through a little crease with that great vision and pad level and picks up 4.
Well, they're going to ride his shoulders here, and he is going to be close to a 1st down, picking up another 4. It'll be about a 3rd and 2 here. Thomas with unofficially 230 yards rushing, 31 carries.
Here comes the jumbo package.
And as you have said so many times, Coach, Scottsdale has not had an answer for this unique jumbo package. So the power side, the right, and Thomas runs right behind those 2 big hogs and takes it down to the 1-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards on the play. So he's had 3 carries, and now they've got it goal to go from inside the 2.
And they are still not adjusting to this formation.
All right, Ford probably give it up to Thomas again. Thomas waiting for something to open up, but he just goes with the lead, blocking a big 71 C.J. Walker, 285-pounder out of Wichita, Kansas, and they draw to within 1 at 35-34.
And I think they're going to keep the jumbo package in here and go for that 2-point conversion. And I would not be surprised if we see a similar type play that we just saw.
They will try to take the lead here with a 2-point conversion. Thomas with his 4th touchdown of the contest for the Conquistadors. They will pitch out, the toss running left, and he's got it with ease. He broke a tackle in the backfield. Collier had him, but he slipped the tackle. He gets the 2-point conversion, and you can see why this young man was the conference offensive player of the year back in the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference.
You talk about smelling the end zone. He's one of those guys that definitely has a nose for that end zone, and he's not going to be denied. I would not like defending that young man. Not at all.
Not at all. Well, that is the first lead here in the second half for Dodge City. Remember, they tied the game with about 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter at 28. Scottsdale came back, got that big touchdown pass, Decker to Rubin for 59 yards to make it 35-28, but another fumble and 3 for 3 on turnovers, conversions.
Yeah, that's been the real key.
Yeah.
15-yard line, about 22-yard line, 21-yard line for the other two. And you give this team a short field with that running game of theirs, and it's almost a guaranteed 6 points.
I think Scottsdale's actually fumbled 5 times here today. They've lost 3, and all 3 have been converted for scores. Okay, so here is I think this is Thompson up to the 38. And he's going to be wrapped up there on special teams, a special teams tackle by Rodney Cole.
So that puts them in very good field position, 37-yard line, and it's going to be a real challenge the rest of this game. I don't know if either defense can come up with a stop the rest of this game. And that's going to be the key. Which defense can come up with a turnover or come up with a stop, because both of them are worn down pretty much at this point in the game.
This is the first time that Scottsdale has trailed since they took their second lead of the game back at the 9-11 mark in the second quarter.
Wow.
So 12:15 on the clock, still plenty of football. 33rd Annual Valley of the Sun Bowl, Scottsdale and Dodge City, Kansas, and Summers going to work. Inside the red zone, he is gone. 62 yards for Zaquan Summers, and with 12:04 left to go, Scottsdale regains the lead.
Well, before that play started, I was about to say, Dodge City is not adjusting to that formation correctly, because that's a play that Scottsdale has been consistently running all game long. They put a trips to the wide side of the field. They offset the back that way, and Dodge City overshifts their linebacker to that wide side of the field, and they're a man short to the short side, and that's exactly what happened right there, and he broke it to the house.
So he's had touchdown runs of 55 and 65. And out of the hold of Andrews, the extra point by Kerwin is good. So that makes it 42-36 with 12:04 left to go here in regulation. And let's send it downstairs to Michael.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jeff. Yeah, talking to Blake Decker yesterday, the one thing that you have to appreciate about all his numbers, Coach, I know you'll like this, is that he doesn't care what the defense gives him. They're going to run the ball. And Zaquan Summers, as we talked about earlier in the season, he was a 4th-string running back to start the season. And Blake Decker said that had to be the best surprise. The injuries come in, and Zaquan comes in with that talent. 2 big runs today. I know he's kind of been bottled up. But, again, this offense is just going to take what you're going to give him. And, Coach, you're right. I think both defenses will be gassed because, like you said, Scottsdale, they're not going to take their foot off the pedal. They're going to try and score as short as possible, and they just have such a balance to their offense. So it'll be an interesting last 12 minutes and 4 seconds, guys.
It has been a classic game so far. Zaquan Summers from 65 yards out on the run, his second touchdown. As Mike said, a 4th-string running back coming in. And congratulations to Summers, who had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage if you combine his rushing and receiving coming into this game. But with his running tonight, he is now a 1,000-yard rusher with 10 touchdowns. That's a pretty good season on a team that throws for over 400 yards a game. So that puts it in perspective. So this one is going to be fielded a yard deep in the end zone from Harris. And Harris is going to be dropped at the 14-yard line on a spectacular play. Boy, he read that well. Is that 48 or 40? I have a little trouble. I think it might be Ryan Henderson.
And we got another flag at the end of the play here. 49. Julian Navarrete.
Okay. Julian Navarrete, who also is listed as a tight end. It is 48. Thank you very much. It's Ryan Henderson. Sometimes these players, they tuck their shirts in so much that it's hard to make it out. And some of these guys are similar build.
Of the receiving team will be a penalty of half the distance to the goal. It will be first down, Dodge City.
So now Dodge City kind of shooting themselves in the foot. No pun intended with the Dodge City reference. The old gunslinger.
Oh, the
town.
gunslinger. Yeah. You got it. I got it. Yeah. I caught right on with that. That is really going to be an issue before this game's over. It's already become an issue. These unnecessary penalties at the end of plays. So the team that keeps its composure the best is going to have the best chance to win this game.
So Dodge City comes out throwing, and it's incomplete. Good start there for the Scottsdale defense. The intended mark was Robinson. It was defended nicely there by Smothers, who's one of their top players, number 9. Second down and 10 coming up. 11:50, the clock stops with the incomplete pass. We're in the fourth quarter. And you see Scottsdale leading at 42-36. Ford out of the shotgun. And somewhat of a pistol, modified pistol formation. Seeing this a lot lately. Now they move Thomas off left, and here's the throw, and it was incomplete, caught by one of the coaches over there on the far side. And now 3rd and 10. And haven't seen this in this game, a 3rd and long deep inside their own territory for Dodge City.
Well, the one time they had it back on their, going the other direction in the third quarter, they got that big pass play down the other sideline that Thomas made, number 5, Thomas made a tremendous catch on. And we'll see if they try to go exploit the corner covering Thomas again in this particular situation.
Going to watch a draw play with them. They're going to go ahead and throw it. And Ford is going to be hit from behind. A quarterback sack. And it's big 55 once again, Craig Kanyan-Garara, who had a great first half defensively. And boy, did Scottsdale need that with 11:20 on the clock as it continues to wind down fourth quarter action.
And Antonio Smothers came limping off the field after that play, and I can't tell. It's some sort of a foot or calf injury. I don't know if he's got that cramping that some of the other athletes have gotten earlier in the game.
So Kanicki with a short kick. It's wobbly. Near the 40 it lands. And that's going to take a beautiful roll. It's going to go all the way down to about the 36-yard line. Wow. So a tremendous kick there. That one is going to go just under 60 yards, 58, 59 yards on that kick with 10:51 left to play.
Well, we haven't talked about the field condition today, but obviously this late in the year, were not able to overseed this field due to high school playoffs, I believe, that were scheduled to be played here. So the field is pretty hard. There's not much grass left on it, and Dodge City just took advantage of that on that roll on their punt.
All right, Blake Decker, first down and 10. Scottsdale with a 42-36 lead. And the inside handoff, Summers, whose last touch went 65. This one goes 1 yard. What a phenomenal defensive play by Ted Taylor, 6', 200-pounder out of Miami, Florida, a freshman.
If Taylor misses that tackle, Mr. Summers is on his way for another big gainer. I don't think he'd have broke that one, but had a good chance to break it into the secondary.
So second down and 9 for Scottsdale with a 6-point lead. They trailed 36-35, and then Summers went 65 yards to pay dirt on their last possession. Decker takes off. He slipped one tackle but could not get away from Terrell Klingscale, the 6'3", 315-pound sophomore out of Maywood, Illinois.
Yeah, they were in man coverage again that time, and Decker saw the man coverage, and he brought the ball down and took off with it. But Klingscale did a great job getting off the block of the offensive guard and came away making that sack. And number 95, Vinton Harris, the other defensive tackle for the Conquistadors, is coming up limping as well. And he's staying in the game, but he looks like he's pretty well hobbled right now.
All right, Coach. Well, a 4-receiver set here on 3rd down and 8. Big play for Scottsdale, trying to keep the drive alive. Pass to the far side. That is caught. An outstanding catch with great blanket coverage, and taking it into the end zone for the touchdown is Steve Bell. His first reception of the day, his 25th catch of the year. And he's the big playmaker, averaging over 20 yards a catch this year.
And Blake Decker put that ball exactly where it needed to be thrown. Here it is right there. Oh, perfect throw. Right on the outside number of the receiver. The corner had no chance to knock that ball away. And a huge play in this football game for the Artichokes. And it looks like they're going for 2 again. I'm telling you, with the way this game has gone, with Dodge City never going for an extra point, it really makes it confusing whether you go for 1 or go for 2.
Play action, Decker rolling out near side. Will he run with it? He thought about it, instead passes into the corner of the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is good as he hooks up with Mitch Struess, the backup tight end out of Red Mountain High School in Mesa, Arizona.
Great job by Decker, staying alive, keep scanning the field. It looked like he was going to run it there for a minute, and that made a little hesitation by the defense of Dodge City, and when they hesitated, that allowed Struess to get open, and nice throw by Decker in the corner of the end zone.
So with 9 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here, Scottsdale now with a 50-36 lead. That marks the biggest lead of the game at the 33rd annual Valley of the Sun Bowl.
Well, the key to that whole situation, Jeff, was a stop. Scottsdale came up with a stop.
Yep.
And you come up with one stop in a game like this where the offenses are really taking over, and with Scottsdale's explosiveness, that they were able to take advantage of that. And now that puts them up 2 scores. They're up 14 points. 14 points is I think that's the biggest lead of the game so far, isn't
it?
Yes. So we've had quite a back and forth battle, but there's still plenty of time left. 9 minutes, 40 seconds left, and we know this team from Kansas is not going to quit.
All right, we're getting ready for the ensuing kickoff. Been an exciting game, no question about it. Got a new kick returner in William French, who is the leading receiver in the game. And he will field from his own 3-yard line, up the middle, now to the right side. He's got some running room, 30, 40, and up to the 45 where he runs out of real estate.
I'd like to know his 40 time. I'm telling you what, I think that's the fastest guy out on the field today. Man, can that guy fly. He's little. He's not real big. He's 5'9", 100. They list him 175. I doubt if he weighs that much, but boy, can he motor. Look at that guy go.
And the kicker, Matt Kerwin, is the one that wrapped him up.
Well, they got great field position to the Conquistadors, and let's see if they can convert and keep themselves in this football game. If Scottsdale's able to get another stop right here, that could put the nail in the coffin.
So 42-yard kick return puts him at the 45. Screen pass to Robinson. He has nowhere to go and nowhere to hide, and down he goes.
And that play just took forever. I mean, the quarterback stared him down. I thought he was going to pump fake to him. He looked at him so long. And by the time he threw the ball there was 6 artichokes right there ready to make the hit. Watch it. Here he is. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the way, and you have 2 more were coming.
Well, that's a dangerous tackle there by Ryan Henderson as Patrick Glover kind of hit him high, and then here's a guy coming in low, and that's usually where you get the knees blown out and ankles blown out, that kind of thing. So we got an injured player with 9:14 left to go. Timeout on the field. You're watching the 33rd annual Valley of the Sun Bowl here on MCTV Sports.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Back at Decabooter Sports Complex alongside the Hall of Famer Joe Kersting. I'm Jeff Lowery, Mike Caratanudo, Jay Russell down on the sidelines. 50-36, Scottsdale with the lead. 2nd and long, 2nd and 15 for Ford, the quarterback out of Dodge City. Handoff to Thomas, and he's back to the original line of scrimmage. Kanyan Guerrara, another tackle. Trying to see who was at the bottom of the heap there. That was James Bernard, I believe.
Well, I think those 2 defensive ends for Scottsdale have really made the difference in this game for their defense. Anu and Kanyang Guerrero have just made play after play, especially against the run this second half, and then also pressuring the quarterback.
He's from the great Northeast out of Lynn, Maine. 6 foot, 231-pound freshman. Not playing like a freshman.
Here he comes again.
And here's Ford throwing, and it was dropped. And there's Kyle Foster on the far side. That would have put them in a 4th and 4. So now they're looking at 4th and 10. And I would assume 4-down territory here for Coach Gary Thomas and the Conquistadors.
Yeah, his coaching style, I would assume that too. But you know, you said that ball was dropped, but it looked like a pretty darn good play by the corner there, Jordan Frost Dixon, to get his hand in there and strip that ball just as the ball was arriving to the receiver.
It was a good pass.
It was on target. It was right there on target. Huge play here. 4th and 10. They're going for it from their own 45.
Well, Scottsdale can control their destiny if they can make a stop here. Good protection, and the pass complete to Shane Britton, the kicker / wide receiver, all the way to the 40, picking up 15 yards and a first.
What a beautiful throw by DeAndre Ford as well. It hit him right between the 1 and the 3 on his uniform, and Britton comes up with a huge catch to keep the drive alive.
So no huddle offense, hurry up offense here. And now they slow things down. 4 receiver set here, and you got the dangerous Tyrese Thomas, who hasn't had a touch on this particular drive. Ford, well, you're showing that great athleticism, and he throws an interception. And it's Isaiah Riddle. What a play there by Scottsdale, and they needed it.
Well, and I thought Ford was going to jump the ball off to his back, Thomas. He looked right at Thomas. Thomas looked at him, put his hands up, and for some reason he changed his mind and threw it down the middle right there. He could have thrown to Thomas, but he throws it right in the hands of the linebacker, Riddle, and huge play by the Scottsdale defense.
Monumental. So Riddle with a big interception here with 7:34 on the clock. And now Scottsdale with a score here could start putting this thing in the deep freeze, but there's still a lot of football left. Here's Summers getting the call and hit backwards by Josh Williams, one of the hard-hitting linebackers for this Dodge City team.
Well, if you're Scottsdale, you'd like to be able to run some clock here. It'd really be in your advantage if you can keep that offense of Dodge City on the sideline for several more minutes. It's not their style. It's not what they typically do, but I'm going to guess they'd love to do it if they could, but they're in a throw situation now at 2nd and 9.
Well, Josh Williams, yeah, and sorry to cut you off. We got, looks like an offsides here. Long pass, Decker to the near side, incomplete. And they did not throw the flag, Coach.
Yeah, the defensive end must have gotten back onside. He definitely was in the neutral zone for an instant there, but when the ball was snapped is the key in college football. High school football, once you're in the neutral zone, plays dead. It's offsides. Encroachment.
So, unfortunately for Scottsdale, I was going to say, it stops the clock. Probably the one thing you don't want to do, but I think Medosky wants to put this team away.
Oh, yeah.
So, an empty backfield. Decker hit as he throws, and coming back for the ball, or at least trying to, was Teddy Rubin, the intended receiver. And do we finally got a flag on the play? Yes, we do.
I don't know on that one. I don't know. It looked like both players were trying to play the ball, and I don't think there was an intentional contact. We'll see it better hopefully here.
Yeah, when you're coming back for the ball, though.
Yeah, now that I see it, I think it's been called.
Automatic first down.
The receiver definitely turned and stopped and made a play for the ball, and there was contact, and the defensive player was not making a play for the ball. So, by rule, that is defensive pass interference.
So that's going to move them inside Dodge City territory to the 47-yard line and a fresh set of downs. 15-yard penalty. Decker back to pass and setting up an underneath screen, and Well, reading that one to perfection, Josh Williams. Josh Williams just seems like he's got an extra burst of energy here with 6:30 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Well, he's their leading tackler, and usually a leading tackler is one of those guys that's always around the ball, whether it's the start of the game or the end of the game. And there he was again, ready to make the play.
6'2", 225 pounds, led the team with 82 tackles this year, third in the Kansas Jayhawk Community College Conference. Second down and 13, so they actually lost 3 on the play. Here's Zaquan going to work. He's up across the original line of scrimmage and down to the 45-yard line where he's tackled by Ted Taylor.
Here we go again with 3rd down and 7, 3rd and 8. And if Scottsdale can hold on to the ball for another set of downs, that would be huge to give them more opportunity to keep their defense on the sideline and the Dodge City offense without the ball.
Okay, 3rd down and 8. Decker letting that clock run down. Now the play clock is at 6. Now it's down to 4. And they may take the delay a game here, and so the penalty will move them back 5. Or did they get the timeout in? The line judge says they got the timeout in. So with 5:20, a 50-36 lead for Scottsdale, hosting the 33rd annual Valley of the Sun Bowl here on MCTV Sports as we come to you from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay, well, remember last week when you hit Vinny in the head with the shovel?
I do not recall that.
Of course not. Well, it was too graphic for the kids, so I'm going to have to block you.
You know, I got to make this
That's
up.
really not
This is Vinny's watch.
Alongside Joe Kersting, Jeff Lowery, our entire MCTV crew here today with this 2 o'clock start time, 5:20 on the clock. Blake Decker and Scottsdale up 14 and facing 3rd and 8 as he rolls out right. Now wants to cut it up. They'll run it to the far side. He has to run it now. He's past the line of scrimmage, and he got hit hard over there near the 40-yard line as Josh Williams, who has just been a monster on this possession. Clock continues to wind down. He is shy of the 1st down, and I would imagine 4-down territory.
Yeah, smart move by Decker there to stay in bounds, get what he can out of the play. And now that brings up a 4th and 3, and it looks like they're keeping their offense on the field. They don't want to risk getting a blocked punt here, and they also would like to keep possession of that ball to run more clock.
Play clock is down to 8. He'll take the snap. Summers with the handoff, and he's going to get the first. He's inside the 35 and wrapped up near the 33-yard line by Adrian Burton. Not before he picks up about 8 yards and a monster 1st down.
Yeah, great job by Summers there. That play was not blocked particularly well, but he was able to make that first defender miss right there. Number 17, the linebacker, Taylor, had an ankle tackle on him, had a shot for an ankle tackle. He made him miss and able to keep the ball for the Artichokes.
Decker to pass on 1st down and 10. He's going for the end zone, trying to put the team away, and it is incomplete. Just overshot Teddy Rubin. He'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
That's about the first mistake I've ever seen Decker make. He had his man Bowman wide open here on the near sideline. The safety for Dodge City was late coming off the sideline. He would have been on the sideline the previous play, number 2, Tyrone Wright. And Wright was sprinting to try to get in position to cover Bowman, and he was nowhere near in position to cover him. It would have been 6 points for sure.
Well, unfortunately, that stops the clock at 4 minutes, 5 seconds. 4th quarter action. Summer will run it to the left side. See if he can stay in bounds. He does. He's awfully close to a 1st down. And now being jawed at there by Kyle Foster, who made the play. They're going to move it back to about the 25. So now you're looking at 3rd and 2. The clock... Well, actually, the clock stops at 3:59. Now they've started it again.
Yeah, he did not go out of bounds. I didn't
think he did. 50-36, Scottsdale with the ball, looking for their first ever Valley of the Sun Bowl victory. They are 0-2. They lost to Coffeyville back in 2004. Their other appearance was in 2001 against Garden City, where they lost 39-31. Here's a swing pass to Summer, and he cannot come up with it. Incomplete.
Well, that's one of their favorite little plays. That's just a bubble screen, tailback screen to the short side of the field, and it's been a very successful play in the past for them. First time they've run it today, but unsuccessful in on making the completion.
3:31 on the clock, and they run it up the gut, and it looks a little shy, Coach.
Yeah, I don't think he made it. I'm surprised that they went that quickly and used that play. I would have run the clock down more, and
well, there's still 30 seconds on the play clock, so
yeah.
Change of possession with 3:27 left to go. So, as the great Elvis Presley would say, it's now or never.
Don't ask me to start singing.
But
it's now or never.
Hey, that wasn't your cue.
Oh well, I started to go on cue with that one, but discretion is the better part of valor. Is that how that
Something
works?
like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 3:27 to go. I think they're down to 2 timeouts, and they've got to score quickly.
All right, Ford out of shotgun. Pressure coming. Looked like there might have been a hold over there, and no call by the official. Hard to tell from here, but they had to protect their quarterback as the pass goes incomplete. Brings up 2nd down and 10. They'll start this drive from their own 24-yard line.
They're trying to get the screen to Thomas there, and it was fairly well set up, but a poor throw there by Ford didn't allow that play to work very well.
It's been a close game for the most part. This 14-point lead is the largest of the day for either team, and Ford has to throw it, and very wisely dropped there by Thomas, and now it's 3rd and long.
And it looks like Riddle just invited Thomas over for dinner. You think that's what happened down there?
That could be.
Maybe.
All right, so now you're looking at a 3rd and 10. You know, it's not been a back and forth game per se. I mean, Scottsdale led early 7-0, 15-8. They had a 1-point lead at half. Really close here, but they've scored the last 2 touchdowns to bolt out to a 14-point lead. 3:15 on the clock, 4th quarter, with plenty of time. And when you have that kind of time, somebody's usually wide open, and so was Robinson, and he's up to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, that's been the key for this whole second half. It's when Scottsdale's been able to put pressure on the quarterback, they've had great success. When they don't have pressure, Ford has done a nice job of getting his eyes down the field and getting completions.
And pressure, the ball stripped out of there. Ford lost it, and who has it? And Kanyan Guerrara was the one that forced it out of there, and that may be sealing the deal for the first ever Sun Bowl victory for Scottsdale.
Well, Calvin Hurtley, it looks like, came up with the fumble, and you're right, Kanyan Guerrara again made another huge play to strip that ball from the quarterback.
There is a flag down. This probably will be a personal foul, unsportsmanlike, or late hit, or one of those.
During the play, Scottsdale participated with 12 players on the field. It's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's automatic 1st down.
Oh my goodness, can you believe it? Too many players on the field.
You're going from the game is over to keeping them in the game, and they score quickly here. They still got a shot. They're down 2 scores, 14 points.
5-yard penalty.
I was going to say, that's on that 5-yard penalty. I was shocked, not shocked. I was surprised when he marked off 15, but they know more than I do. But I thought that was only 5 yards for 12 men on the field. So we got 2:48 left on the clock. They're down 2 scores, Dodge City. If they can score here quickly and get an onside kick, they still got a chance in this game. Boy, that's a huge play. Man, you go from being ecstatic about, the game is in hand to you're still fighting your tails off.
Penalty is from the previous spot. It goes 5 yards. It's 1st and 5 for Dodge City at that spot. Here we go.
Boy, what a change of fate. 5 yards to go, 1st and 5 here. And there's 2:48 on the clock, still plenty of time. Ford looking and fires incomplete. Short hop Devontae Robinson, who we didn't see a whole lot in the first half, but we certainly have here in the second half, and it's 2nd and 5.
Well, he really had an impact on that fly motion sweep earlier in the half, and broke some big plays for him with that. And then in the pass game, has come up big a few times as well. But this is the type of team that they can't live by the pass. They can pass the ball pretty well.
And here's Ford taking off, and he's going to be awfully close to that first down. Boy, he took a shot right there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Right to the back of his shoulder and kind of deflected up into the back of his head, it looked like. I don't think it was an illegal hit, but
that was Kanya Guerrara again. Quick snap, handoff. Here's Thomas. He's got the first down, still turning the legs, still grinding it out, and he's down inside the 35, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So a pickup of 14 yards and a first down. It's eating up some clock. The clock stops with the moving of the chain, so that's right
he
now
also
2:12.
stepped out of bounds on that
he did.
play,
Okay.
so it stops for that as well.
Now Thomas up the middle and still on his feet, and he's got another first down. Picks up 12.
Man, is he impressive.
He's over 250 yards here today. Clayton the tackle. We're at the 2-minute mark. No 2-minute warning in college. Ford going back to the well, and he's inside the 10, down to the 8, where Jack Fatala makes the tackle.
And another first down stops the clock. Only 9 seconds went off the clock to run that play.
And remember, Dodge City only goes for 2, so if they make it, they've got a good. They're going to be going for a win here. If they would get the ball back, if they can score and get the onside kick. Thomas, and pounding his way down inside the 3.
And smartly a timeout here by Dodge City.
Dodge City.
That's their second.
That is their second timeout in the second half.
So we got a timeout on the field. The 33rd annual Valley of the Sun Bowl coming to you from Scottsdale College in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. Get into the game with Inside Maricopa Sports. From the gridiron to track and field, the 9th inning to the winning goal. Inside Maricopa Sports brings you the excitement of Maricopa College's sports. Get up close and personal with athletes and coaches. Plus, meet the unsung heroes of the game. Join us on the field and behind the scenes on Inside Maricopa Sports. Only on MCTV, Cox Cable, Channel 115. Artie the Artichoke looking on at the 33rd annual Valley of the Sun Bowl. So it is 2nd and goal to go, and taking it over the right side, but not gaining the pylon was the running back Tyrese Thomas, who is over 250 yards, and now they speed up. The clock continuing to wind down. The quarterback calls his own number and takes it into the end zone on a 1-yard run. So that makes it 50-42. So a 2-yard keeper by Ford. That's his first touchdown of the day.
1:17 to go. This is an untimed play when you go for the 2-point conversion, which they will obviously go for the 2-point conversion since they don't believe in, they have a kicker that can put it between that upright. So the jumbo formation is in there. They've got 92 and 95 in there, respectively. That's Clink Scales and Harris, 2 big defensive tackles.
In the toss pitch, and he is going to be stopped. Boy, an unbelievable play on special teams. And that is Ryan Henderson once again.
Yeah, huge play by the Scottsdale defense to stop that play. Now they're down 8. They obviously can still onside, get the ball back, score, and get 2 to tie only at this point in the game. So, not having that for sure extra point is really,
Yeah, because they put up 7 touchdowns here?
I'd have to do my math.
Six touchdowns.
The math gets really hard when you when you're used to extra points all the time. So the Artichokes have their hands team out there. They've got 10 guys up. They got Teddy Rubin, the only guy back deep. I'm sure we're going to get some sort of an onside kick, a bloop kick, or something fancy. In college football, you can only put 6 guys to one side of the ball, and so you have to leave 4 on the other side of the ball. At other levels of football, you can overload everybody if you want to one side, but not in college. So it looks like the onside kick is going to come here towards our camera side, towards the near side, where they have 6 coverage men, and the kicker, Britton, is ready to roll.
Stay with us at the conclusion of this game. We'll have post-game coverage, so stay with us here on MCTV. We got 1:17 left. Here's a nice-looking onside kick, but fielded by Bowman, and he'll take the knee at the 50-yard line. So Braden Bowman comes through. He gets the State Farm Award for the good hands there, and with 1:12 left to go, an 8-point lead for Scottsdale, and they just got to take care of business now. There is a flag on the field.
Well, it's going to be on Bowman for throwing the ball up in the air.
Sportsmanlike, charging against number 18, Scottsdale. It's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's the second unsportsmanlike penalty on Mr. Bowman today.
So Scottsdale, coach, may be a minute 12 away from their first ever Valley of the Sun Bowl victory.
Yeah, all they should have to do is take a knee at this point. I believe Dodge has 1 timeout left.
So Blake Decker will bring his team out. Should Scottsdale hold on here? Looks like they might be assuming that victory formation. I don't think that it doesn't look like Dodge City can do anything here. And that will wind the clock down to 1:10. They take their final timeout.
Dodge City, that is their third and final.
It will be 10 wins in a row for Doug Radowski's team. He is assisted by Tommy Sigler, Brandon Moore, Rich Vitale, Kate Ingrid, sports performance coordinator, offensive line coach Jeremy Brigham, Daryl Dawson, Angel Ortiz, Tony Porter, Dale Robinson. Shout out to Tony Neighbors, outstanding head athletic trainer here. Will Warasilla, our sports information director. And
Coach Madowski just got drenched. Deservedly so. That feels terrible, but it feels wonderful, Jeff, when that happens.
On a cold, bone-chilling night here in Arizona. Of course, all the people from Minnesota are shaking their heads, but
yeah, Coach Ziegler, I think, just got it as well. It's no fair when the assistant coaches get it. They're unsuspecting.
What a season for Scottsdale. Coach, you got to feel awfully proud of what that man has done, and this season his players, they're going to finish 10-1. It is probably the best season, I think, in Scottsdale history, and they got a chance maybe to climb up into the rankings. You got the national championship game. We got 30 seconds on the clock. Georgia Military, East Mississippi, 1 versus 2. The loser of that game may drop, and Scottsdale could move up. And the zeros are on the board. And here in 2013, the Scottsdale Fighting Artichokes are Valley of the Sun Bowl champions. Final score from Scottsdale Community College, the Artichokes 50, the Conquistadors of Dodge City 42. Now stay with us. We'll have post-game coming up next here on MCTV Sports. Welcome back to Scottsdale Community College, where the Fighting Artichokes have won 50-42. At this time, we send it down to Mike Cartenuto, Turfside.
All right, we're down here on the field with Mark Krug, the representative from the NJCAA, and Vernon Mummert, the athletic director from Scottsdale, and now the presentation of the most valuable player trophies.
Well, I'm very honored to announce the MVP for Dodge City, number 4, Tyrese Thomas. And for Scottsdale Community College, Zaquan Summers, number 36. Congratulations. now it is my pleasure to present the championship trophy of the Valley of the Sun Bowl to the Fighting Artichokes of Scottsdale Community College.
Coach Wojciechowski, first a lot this year. Congratulations on the victories. You give the trophies to your player, but we talked earlier in the season, the first time this year, the playoff system. With the playoff system, you guys were able to win the WSFL, but now the school's first ever Valley of the Sun Bowl championship. How does it feel, Coach?
Obviously, it feels pretty good. You know, we started the season wanting to do something special. We felt like we had a special football team, and we certainly came out here and we did what we had to do, winning the conference championship, and then ultimately holding off a very good Dodge City football team to win the Valley of the Sun Bowl. We're excited.
And when you talked to me earlier in the season, you said your offense could almost score at will. Your defense needed to come up with one big play. Isaiah Riddle's interception. Probably the play you're looking for all game. Just talk about what was going through your head on that play.
Well, we just felt like if we just kept fighting and we kept grinding it out a little bit, that sooner or later things were going to turn our way. Obviously, we just kept playing. We kept going hard, offensively, defensively. We made some plays when we needed to in all three phases of the game, and obviously we're excited to get the win.
All right, so how long do you enjoy this before you start getting ready for next season, Coach?
I don't even think we have 24 hours. It's time to get going right now.
All right, well, congratulations on the win. Jay Russell will send it over to you with the MVPs.
I'm Jay Russell. I'm here with Tyrese Thompson at Dodge City. Tyrese, that was a tough loss, but you know, your team did real good this year. You guys ended with a good record. How proud of you of your teammates and your coach this season?
Very proud, very, very proud. Last year, this team went 0-9, you know, before they made the coaching change, and I actually came with the coaches. And that was exactly what we wanted to do, you know, come in and change the program around. So for us to go 6-4, you know, fortunately we lost the, you know, championship game, the one that really matters, but we still did some pretty good things this year, so I'm very proud of.
Right, and then also, like you said, this was a big turnaround for the team. Where do you see this team going for next year for Dodge City?
Hopefully recruiting picks up for them. You know, obviously people don't want to go to a bad team, so now that we got some wins, maybe they'll pick up on recruiting so they can get some more good players. You know, fortunately, I'll be leaving next year. A couple of our guys that came with will be leaving too, so they're going to have some spots to fill, but I think they'll do a good job recruiting.
All right, well, thank you, Tyrese. Good luck. All right. Now we're here with, we're here with Zaquan Summers right now. Zaquan, this is the first Valley of the Sun Bowl win for Scottsdale. So what does that mean to you to be a part of history?
It means a lot, you know, to be a freshman and come in and do the things we've been able to do, you know what I mean? It's a blessing. I really love the fact that my guys, you know, they looked up to me, you know, and they, dang.
Come on, cry.
And then also, can you talk about the play of your defense tonight? Later in the second half, they held them. It's 36-50 the final score. So can you just talk about their play and how that helped you guys close it out at the end?
You know, they make plays when it's needed. You know, it may start off for us, but it's all about the finish.
All right, thank you, Zaquan. Good luck. I appreciate it. All right, back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Jay, thank you very much. Well, Coach, what can you say? Scottsdale with their first Valley of the Sun Bowl. The numbers are staggering. We saw Tyrese Thomas, 258 yards on 39 carries. I tell you, in all the years, I don't think I've ever seen a guy carry the ball almost 40 times for those kind of numbers. Summers, 17 carries for 180. And we talked about the quarterback, Decker. If you had told me that he's going to be 9 of 20 for 220 yards passing and they still win by 2 touchdowns, I would have said you're crazy.
Yeah, I probably would have agreed with you on that. The one thing we didn't have the stats on, and I should have gotten him, was Decker's rushing, because he had key runs in that game that were able to keep drives alive, and just keeping those drives alive allowed Scottsdale's explosive players, Zaquan Summers, for example, to make those big plays and get scores from distance.
So the Scottsdale Fighting Artichokes are 2013 Valley of the Sun Bowl champions. So for our entire crew and Joe Kersting, Mike Caratenuto, Jay Russell, Jeff Lowery saying good night from Scottsdale.